So we're back for episode 8. 8.
The 8th.
Wow.
And
of
the
the
8th, we got a
Dan
new
and
table.
Ninko show. And we got a table directly from Dan's basement.
Yep.
Which it looks like it. It's leaning to your side. You're not leaning on it that hard. But actually, I mean, have you won a lot of money on this thing? Because
A little bit on this one.
a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. It's perfect for us. It fits the feel of this show.
I
I'm
might
telling
win a
you.
car on this one.
No, we're not doing that. So on this episode, we're going to cover the Patriots' victory over the Jets. Jets. Was that an impressive victory for you? We were texting throughout the whole game. You seem to be very, very confident that the Patriots are going to take the momentum from this game and beat the
100%.
Ravens.
100%. They're going to beat the Ravens.
So you're going to pick the Ravens? Or you're going to pick the Ravens to lose? You're going to pick the Pats?
Yeah. I pick the Pats every week.
I know you do.
I mean,
You have to.
what's the
It's
point?
by default he has to.
But the thing is, though, is Cam got confidence now, right? He they've lost how many games? 3 games on the final drive, basically. They lost Denver,
Yeah.
Seattle, and Buffalo on
Yes.
the final drive, where they had the chance to win each of those games, and Cam couldn't come through. And this time he comes through. I mean, it's all it is with him. It's confidence. He's had no confidence. When he has confidence, when he's on some of these drives,
How about
he
that
throws it well.
overthrow on that wide open post?
The only thing with that, though,
that was a touchdown. See, the problem that I have sometimes when I watch the game, I'm like, why are you missing some of these throws? And then some of the backyard football stuff. Now that he's not 10 years ago, Cam. I mean, or 5 years ago, whatever. Like, he would make guys miss, and I know he made a couple guys miss, but he's not running the ball down the field. He's not going to threaten you with speed anymore out of the pocket. So if I'm another team, I'm just going to say, all right, we're going to kind of like the Jets game plan. We're going to get after you. We're going to blitz you. We're just going to hope you throw deep. And I think there's a few good plays, good throws where I was like encouraged. Okay, yeah, that's a great throw. I love Myers. I think he is the workhorse right now.
I mean, he looked good last year, though, too.
He did. So
Yeah.
I think he has gained the trust of Cam, and he's going to be the guy now. He's going to be the go-to guy.
Yeah, with Edelman.
But again, when I look at the Jets, they haven't won a game, and they were in this thing. It was 2010 at half.
They've been in a couple games.
They've been in them, yes,
Yeah.
but they haven't won any. So
But,
I
I mean-
was like, are they going to win this football game against the Patriots? I was praying that they did not win that football game.
Yeah.
Because if they were to win that, I wouldn't have even want to turn on the radio or listen
Oh, it
to a
would've been-
post game. It would have been like doom and gloom.
The
just
Patriots
terrible.
could beat the Ravens next week. You don't want to listen to the radio. Half of these guys talking. I mean,
So looking forward after this game, I think the one thing that scares me is the run defense. Like,
yeah, but I mean,
they don't have it. Who are they playing with? Do you have
That's
list?
that's the thing. I
Name
mean,
the guys that played in this game, and it's
I had it up. I don't
It's
know
a
where
lot
it
of
went.
practice
But
squad players.
I mean, I think on the
They're
defense
so
there was 7 practice
shorthanded.
squad players because you're without your biggest defensive lineman in
Yep.
Lawrence Guy. You're
Yes.
without your best corner.
yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, I mean-
and I think we saw that.
You're out with one of your better middle linebackers, Copeland. He's out. He's gone
Yeah.
for the season. You got other
Bentley
guys that
was
seem
out.
to be playing. Like Adam Butler was a staple on the line.
Yeah,
Now
where
he's
did
not really
Adam
playing.
go? Where did Adam Butler
I
go?
forgot about him until we talked about it right before the show.
It's
It's
weird. What?
yeah,
and then
they're playing with like 2 linebackers every game. It seems like.
It's so crazy to look at how they're having to play on defense. They don't have the personnel to put a run-stopping defense out on the football field. So you're about to go against the Ravens, who they might not be where they were last year, but they still are a good football team. They
Yeah.
just beat your Colts, which you picked the Colts, and we'll get into the picks. We tied this week, which I don't know how that
They
happened.
got screwed in that Cardinals game. That should have been a win.
But when I look at the way that the Patriots play the game, they have to run the football. I love Rex.
Yeah,
He's a beast. The dude
But
takes
so
a
did
pay
Damian
cut.
Damian Harris looked great too.
He did. Well, hopefully the chest, whatever it is, isn't serious.
Yeah, they
It's
haven't
going
really
to keep
released
him out.
anything on
'Cause
that yet.
if he's not there next week, it's going to be that much harder when you're going to have to really rely on Rex to go
Well,
out
Sonny
there.
will be back. Sonny's technically back. He's off the off IR now.
So
He's
you're
gonna
gonna
play.
you're gonna need him because at this point right now you have to rely on the running game. If you don't have a running game, it's going to be tough to really
But
they'll throw those play action passes in there and
That's how they beat Miami, though. They beat Miami because they controlled.
yeah. But
the
Cam ran
clock.
for how much? Cam was running the football like in that game.
Yeah, but you also Damian Harris
they have
wasn't
gone
there
away
yet.
from Cam running the football.
I think they kind of have to.
Yeah, because if he gets hurt or if he's getting
almost
the wear and tear on him.
But it's almost like you
that
want him.
Sack,
You want
which
him to
was
stay
not
in the
sack
pocket.
where you got bobbleheaded. These refs are really, really, really trying to ruin the game.
He kind of went in that angle, but his angle, he went up.
I don't know how you hit a quarterback then, because if you hit him not in the head, in the chest, you hit him in the chest and his head does this, and they throw the flag
it was
on
like
you.
his angle, though. He's
a little guy.
Yeah, he's a little guy, and he kind of. It was like you remember Mike Tyson's Punch Out?
Yeah, he'd come up under.
Yeah, he has to like jump and hit. That's kind of what it was.
But he'd jump and hit him in the chest. I don't get it.
Tough. It's a tough.
I don't know. They're making this game real weak. If you ask me about those calls, there's a lot. I've watched them all around the league, not just that one, but there's calls roughing the quarterback where I'm like, what are you talking about? It didn't hit him in the head.
Stuff. Those like pass interference is still kind of all over the place.
Yeah, most of these refs are 90 years old and they can barely move and they can't see anything, but they're throwing flags.
Yeah,
they need to have like age.
Late flags.
They need to have like a better system in place for like the referees and getting some young. Why don't they have young ex-players out there? Why don't they have like retired athletes that played the game? They know what they're looking at,
like
and they can actually
a good college player that
or they can still run and they can still keep up with the plays.
They need like a referee combine.
I mean, you had Ed Hockley out there like
and his son now too.
Yeah, he's out there with the biceps.
Yeah. I don't know.
So you're encouraged. It was hard for me to really get anything out of that game. I'm happy they won the game. That's a good victory. You tie the game up, then they drive down the field, you kick a field goal. That's encouraging. A slump buster. But the one thing about a slump buster is you're playing another team next week that is like, I think they're not what they were, but they're still very good.
Oh, Ravens are very good. But would you have rather blown out the Jets?
Yes.
Really?
I would like to see.
Because I don't think it would have mattered if you blew out the Jets.
If you blow out the Jets, though, but here's the thing.
I'd rather
when
see
you let the
Cam drive
Jets
the ball
score
down the field.
20-plus points, they scored 27 points in that game. When you score that many points, it's like.
But when you have that many guys out in defense, you have people that.
Yeah, but their secondary was supposed to be their strong point. You only lost Gilmore. Like you still have the McCourty twins,
like
which I love.
But
and you have J.C.
Jackson.
Jackson.
Have a very good wide receiver core.
They do have a good core. If you had that core here, you'd be in a lot better
You'd be
spot.
a whole different area because these are big physical.
I like Gunner.
Receivers.
I think he gives you a lot of energy, but man, does he get smacked around out there. He gets hit.
He does nothing in the passing game, though.
Well, he tries. He tries to do something.
So that's where we're at now.
They do the NASCAR motion with him. They give him the reverses.
I don't like him returning kicks though. Every time he jumps,
he gets killed. But
he tries to hurdle people.
I like him. I like him because I think that he's going to continue to improve. He's going to beef up a little bit. He's going to mature and get a little bigger. But you look at like Braxton Berrios, like what did that guy get on? Because he is huge now.
Yeah, he's with the Patriots.
He's jacked up. He's on something that
he's irrelevant though. Too.
Protein.
It's irrelevant.
He made a couple plays. He had like 8 receptions the week before. But you're playing for the Jets, so it doesn't matter. What do you think Flacco is on? Do you think he's on? Is he on the marijuana or something? Like he's on the sideline every time they show him. He'd be like this.
You do remember though that like he almost got killed. His head almost was moved from his body a few years
please.
ago. Yeah.
Check, please. Yeah. Where am I?
That was one of the most brutal hits.
Who hit me?
Yeah.
Oh, you? Oh. Who hit him? That was the guy that's been traded a million times. They just traded him to the 49ers from the Saints. Kiko Alonso.
What? Yeah, it's Kiko Alonso.
It's Kiko Alonso.
I mean, he
that guy's played everywhere. Buffalo, Miami, Philly. He's been Philly. Then he went to Buffalo. Then he went to Miami. Then he went to the Saints. Now he's with the 49ers.
Is he with the 49ers?
Yes. So he was Philly, Buffalo, Miami, Saints. He's been traded 5 times.
So you got Buffalo 2 years.
Yeah.
Philly
1.
Miami 3, New Orleans 1, and then San Francisco now.
Oh my goodness.
That's his career.
It's just a world-class mover.
I didn't realize he got suspended in college too. DUI.
Not good.
Yeah,
and he's tore his ACLs a bunch of times. I'm surprised he's still in the league, honestly.
He almost decapitated Joe Flacco.
If you look at Joe Flacco, he either had a neck surgery or a lobotomy.
It's a lobotomy from that
because
hit.
His frontal lobe was just the way that he looks around, and he's just like, hey.
his brain was like if you like
I'm
take
playing
like playing a racquetball course and just take.
He looks very chill though. He doesn't seem like he doesn't seem like anything is affecting him. He throws a pick, same reaction. Throws a touchdown, same reaction.
But he's also 37 years old, playing on the Jets
probably
as
made
the backup quarterback.
$150 million. So.
Yeah, I mean he's what
he surpassed Montana for passing yards in that game with that touchdown pass. He went over Montana. Joe Montana.
Yeah, he was like I think he had like 50 yards in the game to do it or something like that. And yeah, he did it. He did it early in the game.
I remember a guy just like that named Joe Montana or Montana.
Crazy
Joe Montana was a quarterback. You idiot! I said Joe Montana.
But the crazy thing is, you notice that it's like 16th all time passing now or something like that. He's like way down the list. It's not even like it's not like top 5 or top 10 or anything. I know. It's way down the list.
Well, guys, the game's changed so much. I mean, you think back on the 80s, 90s, it was 22 personnel. Your linebackers were in pads like this big. There were 260-pound inside linebackers.
Even the quarterbacks
it's insane to think about how much the game has changed just in when I got in the NFL in 2006 to where it's at right now. In 2006, if you had a 225-pound inside linebacker, he was getting just destroyed and thrown out of the club. And your safeties, like usually back then, your safeties were 230 pounds. Your inside linebackers were 260, 250. Your DNs were 6'5", 300, just big dudes.
Nowhere near that
now everybody's small, running around.
Everybody flies around. I mean, running backs.
That's why if you run into a team that's physical, you can just push those little guys around and run around blocks all you want. You're not gonna make many plays when you're getting
But it's like
killed.
50 years ago, those running backs can't run with D linemen now.
50 years ago, those guys had jobs. They were electricians and playing in the NFL.
But even like 30 years ago, a lot of those
smoking
running backs
cigarettes on the sideline, not lifting weights. It's like they're doing beer curls, right? And then they're going out there playing football, smoking a cig in between halves.
Back on the Joe Flacco thing, career earnings $166.3 million.
I said 150. I was really close,
despite never earning a Pro Bowl selection.
Well, he had 4 games in a row that was really, really good.
Yeah, that's how he got that huge contract, that $120 million.
Yeah, then he got $120 million.
It was all the playoffs. It was the last ones against the Patriots.
So 160 schmil. That guy can get a few things. I don't know why he's still playing. Why is he with the Jets? Like, who cares? Like, get over it. Just go enjoy yourself. Go get a nice boat.
Well, did the Jets pay a bunch of money?
I don't know. I don't know if I'd be doing a podcast if I had 160 million. I mean, we're having a great time here. This is a good relationship. I love Dan O'Brien. I love all his dealerships. But if I had 160 million, I probably would be on a great center console somewhere in Florida right
Nowhere
now
near anybody.
with triple 300s, 350s on the back, ripping through some type of crystal clear water.
You won't be driving down to ESPN.
I wouldn't be. No, I don't think so.
You might be like taking a helicopter in.
Because
jet.
Cut that in half because people don't realize that 160 million, you got to pay like 51% on that because you got federal and state and your agent fees. So you make 49%. You got 80 mil. Put that in a nice bond fund, and you make 5% on that.
Yeah,
you're good.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't spend. I mean, I guess you could spend that much money.
You could. Well, some guys have. But you just got to avoid this is what you do to avoid going broke. Avoid exotic animal like a tiger. Okay.
That's the number one.
That's the number one. Don't have tigers. Don't
like
have a tiger.
Bengal
cat because the upkeep
Jaguar.
is very expensive. Then you have to have an enclosure. Then you have to have a lot of stake at hand. It's very expensive to do that. Then also multiple homes all across the country, which might be maybe within the 10,000 square feet and above range. When you do that,
you got like a vacation home that's 2 miles from your current home.
You have to have. People don't realize there's a property tax in those, and then there's insurance that you have to pay on that. So that's probably not the best thing. And since we're here with Dan O'Brien, it's the certain automobile shouldn't be one that you purchase. One that maybe loses half its value when you drive it, like a. What's a car that instantly when you buy it you lose half your value?
Yeah, but if you're talking like exotic cars, a lot of them.
No, not exotics. I'm talking like
but the thing is,
I would say like an autobiography.
Yeah.
Like one of those.
That.
Like you buy like an
autobiography.
Range autobiography. They're like what
you go up to $250,000.
$250. They're $250.
Yeah.
And then the second you drive it, they're probably worth like
$185.
So that's $50,000 gone, and then you drive it 2 years.
There's some.
It's like $100.
You'd be smart with it. I mean, there's some that don't lose.
Yeah,
money.
there's some that doesn't. But like a guy like myself, you go for the classics. You go for a '65 Corvette with low mileage, all numbers matching. That's an appreciating asset. if fuel is still around in 10 years. But, we won't get into that subject.
No politics.
But, what's pretty cool? The Buick, the 69 Buick, which I would like to tell everyone, is going to be in Modern Rodder magazine.
That's pretty cool.
So it's going to be a national. It's in
you explain to me a Modern Rodder because I've never heard.
So
of it.
Modern Rodder. So what they did, you remember all the? So there was a lot of magazines. There used to be a ton of car magazines. What they've done is somebody purchased that recently in the last few years. They went all media, and they did away with paper because that's kind of the way it's going. So they cut a lot of those magazines out. They went to 3. So they went to a Modern Rodder magazine. Then they went to like a Chevy, just all Chevy type magazine. And then they went with more of an antique. So the Modern Rodder is going to be your Resto Mods. Your Chevy obviously is Chevy, all Chevy stuff. Yeah. And the other one is kind of the trucks and all those other things. So they've done away with all the magazines. Modern Rodder is like, they've consolidated those to just one.
Magazines don't exist anymore.
Yeah, they don't. So they're coming out with this new one. It's doing really well. It's actually a really, really nice. They kind of wanted a nice quality. And a lot of those magazines, too, they're mostly ads with their advertisements.
Yeah.
You go through it, and half of it, you got like the little squares falling out everywhere. You're like, look, I'm good.
I just want to see the pictures.
I just want to see the pictures of the cars and read the articles. So it's going to be in that. They took some pictures yesterday.
That'll be cool. When's it supposed to be up?
I'm not sure. I think December.
The December edition?
I think so. Or maybe, if not December, then early next year, 2021.
That'd be pretty cool, though.
We'll see.
That'd be pretty cool to have a car in there.
I mean, I'll just put it on the wall. It's good for Pat. So my friend Pat, who owns Precision Industries, he built a car, and we did that together. It was kind of like a
father-son project.
So for me, I saw that car was in his shop. It was sitting there a long time, and I had.
That was his. You got the car from?
Yeah,
him?
I bought the car from. It wasn't owned by Pat, but a friend of his, Herb, owns a ton of Buicks because he loves Buicks. And he had that there. It was supposed to get done, but it just never got done.
Oh, okay.
And
so just sitting.
I was explaining to Pat, like, look, I had this Chevelle. It was all stock. It really rides terribly. It doesn't stop. It was fast because it was a 454, but it wasn't like there was no creature comforts. You couldn't go on a long trip with it. It was a 3-speed auto, so it wasn't as fun. Yeah. And he's like, look, you should do something, but do it with a Buick. Do it with an A-body Buick. You can use all the parts for a Chevelle, but it's in a Buick. It's the same frame, same everything, and it'll be different. I'm like, I love that idea. So I drew it up myself. It looked like my 4-year-old did it. And I said, this is the color combo. This is the trim pieces. Then I did my work, and I went out there, and I hustled. So there's a lot of people involved in this one, which is cool because, there's that car industry, the parts industry, it's like a small community. And when you can kind of link those guys all together and you have something that gets into a magazine nationally, then it's great for them to put all their products on it.
Yeah, no, that's the big thing. I mean, the car is a cool car. I'll give you that. I mean, I love
it's cool.
Resto mods are my favorite.
Yeah, so it's different. I mean, it's a 69 Buick Skylark, which you don't see Buick Skylarks. Usually they're gone by now, especially people that were driving those, they weren't I don't know. They were probably a grandma. Like, I think a grandma owned this one in Arizona. It was like tan, like with tan interior, with a 6-banger in it. Like it was just somebody as grocery getter.
That's what a lot of them are.
I know.
Cool
it's a Buick. That's what people love. They love Buicks. It was an older person's car, so this one was taken care for. No rust on it. But Chevelles, people want tons of money for a Chevelle. Like, you look for a piece of crap Chevelle. Its name.
Yeah.
It's rotted out, rust everywhere. People want $20,000 for a car that you're going to have to put a lot of money into. So, when you find a car like a Buick or even an Oldsmobile, they're all the same frame type, but you could do a lot of the same things to it that you could a Chevelle because there's a lot of parts out there.
A lot of interchangeable parts and things like that.
Exactly.
Plus, you get something that's just different.
It's just different. It's different.
Something you're not going to see.
So my buddy Pat at Precision Industries, again, he's just very talented. I love to send business his way because he's very good. He's local, grew up in the industry, so very smart. And it's hard to find, and you know this, it's hard to find people these days that are very, very good at what they do and they have a passion for it. And I just feel like everybody is just kind of like floating, like, oh yeah, I'm good at it, and you're like, hey, can you do this for me? And they're like, oh,
yeah,
I can't do that front end for you. I don't know anything about those cars, So it's hard to find somebody that's well rounded, and Pat's really good at it.
Yeah, he's going to actually do an air ride system on our Riviera.
Oh, he's going to do it?
Yeah,
Pat's
month.
doing it?
Yeah, I think so. Next month. It'll be pretty cool.
Awesome.
Can't wait for the new car to come in, though. I know you're waiting for it.
Oh, I know, the CUDA.
73 CUDA.
I'm like,
with the NASCAR motor.
When I was growing up, a friend of mine, Glenn Del Santo, give him a shout out. His dad was a big CUDA guy, and his grandfather, and they always used to have the CUDAs, and they used to love them. And I always remember like the plum, the CUDA with the like square little like down the side, and it was like a big square, and it got real small at the end that said CUDA.
Yep.
I always loved that. But I like CUDAs. They're cool. CUDAs. They have a cool look to them. They got like they're a fish.
Yeah, I love Barracudas. This car though is it's a complete resto mod. It's an Ernie Elliott 462.
Is that drivable?
Motor.
Like that type of motor it's like a NASCAR motor.
It's a NASCAR motor. It's 810 horsepower or something like that.
So when you drive, if I was to take a NASCAR car down the street right now, like I feel like I'd rattle the windows.
It'll probably be loud.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait for that.
It'll probably be loud. Neighbors might hate you if you buy it and stuff like that. But I mean, once you see it, it's pretty cool. Like, and I think you get pissed.
I can't wait. I can't wait. It's coming in today, maybe, possibly.
I think tonight is supposed to be in.
You know what tomorrow is?
Oh, that's right. It's Puppy Day.
Puppy Day.
Yeah.
And I was sitting on my nice leather chair I just picked up from a very expensive place, and I just was looking at Paige. I said, do you think this dog's going to want to chew on this chair? Because it smells really good. It has that leather, like, great aroma, and I just sit there, and I love the smell. I have a little bourbon, and I was just thinking to myself, like, this dog, please don't chew this chair, because it was very nice and expensive, and I really like the chair. So I don't know what I'm going to do.
Did you come up with a name yet?
I like Mac. My wife is kind of on the fence.
What she come up with?
She likes Cooper.
Like Cooper Cup?
Like Cooper. I don't know if I love Cooper.
I think I got a better name for you.
No. I'm not doing it.
You sent me the picture of the father. It looks just like it. I think you need to name it Winovich.
That's too long, and I love Winovich. I love Winnow. I like you a lot, buddy. I think you're a great person. But
he kind of looks like a golden retriever.
He does. He has great flow. I love the hair out of the back.
Because what if the dog has the main?
The problem is like he might be like a Jet in 3 years, or he might be a Buffalo Bill. What? So it'd be hard for me to have a dog to where like I feel like they're not right there with me in Pat's Nation, because you never know. But so I like Winnow. He could be Winnow, but I can't do the Vitch. I'm a Vitch. You know how hard a Vitch? I almost said it. You know how hard it is to grow up a Rob Ninkovich? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Ninko. Like, how many times I had to hear that? So, Ninko Stinko, too. Like, I've had to hear that, but that's not
like an
bitch,
earlier one, right?
Yeah. But anyway, that's the Ninko. I guarantee if we're going to get Winovich on this show, we need to get somebody on the show. I know that the podcast world has other people in it. We will eventually. We just, right now in this COVID world, and guys are, and the Patriots have been in like this weird slump.
Like a bubble.
They don't really want to talk much when they've only been 2-5, right? So we'll get Winnow on this show, because I want to talk about his Miata, because he drives a Miata. He came by the house like early in the year, and I wanted to show him a few things. We should probably take him out
car shopping.
And he was like driving a convertible Miata, and I'm like, aren't you?
The top had to be down, right?
The top was down, but then he took it off to show me, and his head was above the windshield. Yeah. I'm like, did you ever get worried about like a rock or like a bug
or a bump,
something, and you decapitate from the no roof there, and you're taller than the car? So Winnow is a great dog name. I like the Winnow name, but you need like double-digit sacks, and I'll
get it. Why don't they be Belichick?
Belichick? That's too long. Belichick. That's too long. Belichick.
Call Bill.
And then like he'd probably end up just like looking at me with the blank stare and not like really wanting to.
I can't believe you're not calling the dog Brady.
Brady? You want to get into that? We're going to take a quick break. We're going to get into Tom Brady, and man, that was that bad.
Yeah. Ugh. Ninko's going to jump off the Brady bandwagon.
I don't have his hat on right now. Yeah. So we're back. We are back to talk about good old Tom Brady. TB12
here, huh?
Oh man, I had to take the hat. I had to change it up to the Reds rubbish removal. If you have any rubbish, call up Reds. They have sweet hats. They always send me hats, and I love them because they got a red truck on them, and I think they look cool. And if you have anything in your trash like, you think about like your basement. You find a cool table like this. Well, if you don't want to take it and put it on a show,
have them
call up Red's Rubbish, and they'll come and they'll take it all, and then that's
you got like padding now.
No, this is great. This is awesome.
You got cup holders.
You should put the glasses on. You can.
Yeah. People might be upset we're not going to drink a beer right now.
Yeah, we got something.
We
got to drive later, so we have a challenge coming up, and we should probably put something on it. But the CUDA, you want to put the CUDA up?
See, I think you like went to this track multiple times, like I
mean, it's
because it's all about race lines. That's how you win in this.
If you
know the lines, I have no idea. I've never
rubbing is racing, baby. So if you hit the wall, I'm sorry.
I'm just telling you, if you're ahead of me, I'm just gonna put you on the wall.
So we're gonna go to the supercharged place right off of Route 1, see who wins. I'm excited for that. But back to Tom Brady. What is your takeaway from Tom's performance against the Saints?
I mean, it wasn't good, obviously, but. In the NFL, though, you can't take one game. Everybody nowadays wants to take one game.
It's the first time he's ever lost to a division team twice in the same year.
Yeah,
and the problem that I'm seeing
everybody wanted him gone after they lost to Kansas City years ago. I mean,
I'm telling you, the only thing that bothers me about this team is like they have a little bit of the pretenders. Like I'm looking at them and I'm like, okay, you beat these teams. The second that Tom is getting hit, like everyone's just like gone. Their offensive line's not protecting him. He's getting hit way too many times. I said before that game when I was on ESPN, I said if whoever wins this game, it's going to come down to who is hitting the other quarterback more. If you hit Drew Brees, we've seen Drew Brees. He's a shell of himself. And you hit Tom, that's not good for Tom. So credit to the Saints and their defense. They covered well, and they were able to get pressure on Tom. Tom was under stress the whole game, getting hit often, just like the Bears game when they lost to the Bears, just like the Saints in the first game when they lost to the Saints. If you hit Tom in their wins, when they're winning these games of their record, their whole record, in the wins, he's being hit half the amount of time as when they lose. When they lose, he's being hit 10 plus.
It's either a blowout really or they're getting blown out.
And it was embarrassing. The one part about like playing in this league, everybody is playing against really great talent. The best football players in the world are playing football in the NFL. So any team on any given Sunday can go out there and they can compete and they can hang with you. But in that particular matchup, the Saints, if I'm Sean Payton, I can guarantee, I wasn't in those meetings, but I can guarantee he was going into there Monday like, look guys, everybody thinks we don't have a chance. We already beat this team.
Yeah.
They're counting us out because I don't know why. We got Drew Brees. They're counting us out. I don't know why because Michael Thomas hasn't been playing. They're counting us out. I don't know why because Cam Jordan on the edge is one of the best rushers in the league right now, and they're kind of overlooking us. So, like, they were probably insulted. You look at the pregame shows, it was Tampa across the board, and they're getting a B, and they're going to be so good. I did pick Tampa, and I made a mistake because they were pretending out there. No, I picked Tampa because I thought that they had something going. And then when you watch that game, I mean, they have no identity. And you look at Bruce Arians.
Yeah.
When I look at Bruce, I just think of like he looks like a real tough guy to play for. He looks like just tough, just like man, this guy's an ass. Like he sits there with his glasses and he's got his little.
He's kind of an ass.
No, like tough to play for. Like he looks like a guy that would be like just.
He kind of reminds me of like Rex Ryan. Like they're the greatest thing in the world, but they've never really done anything.
I mean, it's like a wiener.
So what would happen if? Obviously, I know you don't like playing the if game or whatever. But
if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. Yes.
If this team was coached by the Patriots coaches, what's their record now? 9-0.
It's so hard. You can't compare that because
I know, but
you have Bill Belichick who would have that team in situational awareness and offensive line and all those things that they have trouble with. Like Bill kind of was always the coach that would have the team ready for every possible situation that comes up.
Yeah,
like and the game plans,
if they're going to fake it on 4th and 20 punt,
or they're going to jump off sides. Yeah. The Tampa Bay Bucks jumped off sides about 6 times on defense. That would drive me nuts. And nobody, like, you jump off sides, 5 yards, first down. The guy's just trotting off the field. There's nobody like nobody on the team, like player, like holding these guys accountable. Like use your head. Like what are you doing?
Yeah.
Alert hard count here. It's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. Like be smart in these situations. Someone's doing that. If you're playing for Bill Belichick and the Patriots, we understand the situations. Like, hey, alert hard count. Hey, alert screen. hey, alert draw, hey, let's do this. And like the game plans going into each week have changed, and they always will change with Bill Belichick. You look at Tampa, I feel like they come in with the same stuff. Like defensively, it's like, okay, we're going to let our defensive line get after you, and then the back end, we're going to play zone. We're going to play. The Saints were literally running their routes on air, and the ball was being completed. They threw it to like 10 different guys.
Yeah,
it was insane.
Good.
Drew Brees looked great. You don't get pressure on Drew Brees, you lose. That's plain and simple. You need to get
Brady, though.
You need to get pressure on him, and they were afraid to blitz. Like they did not blitz Drew Brees. So Tommy boy looked, man, he didn't look happy, and he doesn't. I don't know. Just something about Bruce. He wears that visor with the double. He has like 3 glasses on. Like he has 3 different glasses on, and he wears those little like paperboy hats. I don't know. He looks like he drinks a case of beer a day too. He's like rosacea.
Yeah, always that. But do you think they're pretenders, or do you think they're going to be a team?
Did AB just throw like a wrench in the gears here?
100%.
Like, did he just mess up their mojo? Because you bring in AB, and does that create some type of tension? Because
I just understand why you needed AB. Like, everybody keeps saying now, like, oh, you know, they need AB, you know, because Mike Evans is maybe banged up a little bit. I mean, how many
Why do you need AB?
Why
do you need AB? I mean, and he was the most targeted player on the team. Yeah. So if you're Mike Evans or you're Godfrey,
been there,
and you've been there a long time, and you guys have done a lot of practice reps, and you're trying to build a chemistry, but then AB comes in one day or 2 practices, and he has the most targets through the game. You're like, what the hell is this? Like, come on now.
And you got destroyed.
And you got killed.
Yeah.
So I don't know what AB. I don't know what AB does for you as far as chemistry. Because no matter what you do, at the end of the day, a football player is human. And when you see someone coming in your position, you're looking at him. You're like, is this guy going to take my job? Is he going to take my reps? Is he going to take, the production that I'm about to go out here and have? So I don't know what their chemistry is like going forward. You have Tom Brady. He's not a pretender, but is the rest of the team pretending? I mean, I'd like to say that Tom's not a pretender, but maybe the rest of the roster needs to take a good look at themselves in the mirror and figure out, like, where do they want this season to go, because it's up to them. They could potentially lose the division. They're going to look, they had a 60% chance of winning the division. They have a 30% chance of winning the division now. They lost
tiebreakers to the Saints.
So
I think the thing is the Brady factor doesn't play as big of a role in Tampa as it does in New England, right? Because he's there.
Massively agree with that statement.
Like he's there. Everybody looks up to him and all that. And these guys have been in Tampa. He walks in. He's going to change it. Obviously, you get that first initial thing of, oh, this is the greatest of all time coming in here. I'm going to adapt and all that. But I think like it's going to wear down fast.
Well, you also have the risk of people being like, this, like, you're the GOAT. Like, you're supposed to be throwing the ball. You're supposed to be doing all these things, and we were losing these games. So maybe guys start to go the other way. And the one thing I'd say is Tom wasn't out there screaming, throwing his helmet. Like, he didn't do any of that stuff.
He didn't
in
look
this
like
game.
He was into that game.
No, like I didn't see him throw his helmet. I didn't see him screaming at anybody. I didn't see him yell at the offensive line. I just saw him kind of like take his helmet off, go sit on the bench.
You know what it
look
really
off
looked
into
like,
the
though?
distance, like man, I should have retired.
You know what it looked like? It looked like that Miami game, that last Miami game he had, or even like the Titans game in the playoffs. He threw a bunch of, he didn't play well, threw the picks. He didn't have the normal Brady, go throw the helmet, be pissed off.
I should be in Brazil on my yacht.
I think that he's realized
having drinks
that
avocado ice cream.
Yeah,
you think he does? You think he has after his career's over, he'll dabble a little bit into some regular ice cream, which I enjoy ice cream. I had some last night.
I saw an interview the other day. He was talking about that. He still drink beer every now and again and all that stuff.
Well, I could tell you this story, and we were in Buffalo. We got stuck in Buffalo. We had to drive by bus to Rochester, New York, because they had a big storm up there after a game that we played, so we couldn't fly out. So we went to Rochester. The whole team stayed in a hotel. We went to Dinosaur Barbecue, which was in Rochester, and the whole team, I'm telling the whole team, were doing chug contests. We were doing beer chugging contest, and it was a tournament style, single elimination, head-to-head, and Tom Brady won it. Of the whole team, Tom Brady is the fastest chugging beer champion.
Where'd you fall in?
I'm not a chug. I can't throw a beer down. It's like I don't know. It's like some people could just literally just inhale
Yeah.
like breathe in the beer.
Yeah.
Like I can't. Like it's so cold, and then the burn gets me, and then I have to say, hold on a second, like I'm halfway. Just one second.
Did you enter the contest?
I did, but I lost very
first round?
quickly. Yeah.
Like
so,
Wes Welker came out and destroyed you.
I don't know who beat me, but I think the two best on the team were Julian and Tom. I think that was the final.
No. I mean, I just think he's probably realized, like, crap, I went to play for the wrong coach. These are the right weapons around me. Like, I got all these weapons, I can do all that, but I just have the wrong coach. I have the wrong,
It's just not the right fit.
Because Tom needs somebody, I think, to tell him, too, like the AB thing. Like, listen, we know you want AB, but it's going to screw up everything we have. And I don't think Tampa's doing that with him, right? Because they probably brought him in there under those pretenses, like, hey, we'll let you kind of help with picking the guys and all that. I just don't see it working.
I don't think it's going to work either, but
I think
I have high hopes. I have high hopes that they will get back in the winning ways, but
they got some tough
games. That
up.
was a really, really terrible game to watch, and I was surprised to see it. And right when you think something good is about to happen and they have some momentum, it just wasn't. Like they drove the length of the field, they go for it on fourth down, and they don't get it. So
yeah, these are the games they have coming up. You got Carolina. That's
not an easy game.
Play the Rams.
That's not an easy game.
Chiefs.
That's not a win.
Vikings.
They can't stop the run. That's not a win.
Atlanta.
That's a win.
But
Atlanta's playing good.
I think Atlanta will be hard.
They're playing better.
They play Detroit.
They'll beat Detroit.
And then they play Atlanta again. That's kind of weird. Within
3 weeks,
your last 3 games, you play Atlanta twice. I think they lose both Atlanta games. I think Atlanta's better than what they've done.
Yeah, no, they might split that.
They have a better
split
coach
that,
now.
they're not going to win the division. So
I just don't see them winning the division.
The Saints have a real easy schedule from here on out. The Saints do not have a challenging schedule, so the Saints are going to win the division. So now it's going to come down to seeding and who they play in the playoffs. If Tampa can continue to win, which they should win some of those games and hopefully get to the wild card. But it's going to be tough.
Tampa will make the playoffs, but I think they're going to be a wild card team.
They're going to have to be because they're not winning the division.
I don't think they win a playoff game. Unless they end up with the 5 seed and they get to play the NFC East.
Yeah.
Like that's actually like
that's what I'm saying. That might
you
not
almost want to be the 5 seed.
That might not
right?
be the worst. You have to go play who? The Eagles or Dallas or the Giants
or the football team.
Yeah, or the football. Like nobody knows who's going to win that division. Yeah. So
here's the Saints schedule come up. You got the 49ers without half the team.
Yep, they're going to win.
They play Atlanta. It'll be a tough game. They play Denver. They play Atlanta again. Why is the schedule set up that way?
I don't know. Well, it's just like the Patriots. They play at the end. Don't they play? No, that's
all
they have like
out,
4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah. So it's Atlanta again. Then they have Philly. Then they have Kansas City. Then they have Minnesota. Then they have Carolina. So they've got a little bit easier of a road.
Yeah.
I think they're a better team too. I mean, that's just.
They're better I feel coached. Like they were the 2 times that they played Tampa, they were jacked up, like ready to go, playing hard.
I think it's what Peyton gets them all jacked up on these big games.
Yeah.
That's why I think they fall on their
Peyton
face.
doing
his,
his dancing after the.
Yeah.
I respect Sean Payton, even though he did me dirty. I respect Sean Payton. He's a good coach.
Did you dirty? How? Because he let you go?
Yeah, he let me go pretty bad. I mean, you don't know the story?
No.
All right, so I tore my ACL in 2006.
Yeah, I know that.
I came back in 2007. I hurt my other MCL, so I was out a couple weeks. He came and talked to me, said, "Hey, we loved you. You know, you're a great football player. We're going to be on this team. Just needed to rehab, get back, as fast as you can." Week 1, they were playing the Colts on a Thursday night in Indianapolis. That was when they got killed by the Colts killed them. But he was like, "Hey, I really need you to practice this week. It's important that we have you out there." So I made the team. My knee wasn't ready, but I taped it up, did the best I could all week, traveled with the team to the game. Thursday morning, I'm sitting down to eat breakfast. He walks up to me and says, "Hey, we're going to release you right now."
Really?
They cut me in Indianapolis before the game.
Wow. Your Thursday night game?
Thursday night game. And wow. I was in the locker room on Friday, and I was walking to the shower, and Drew Brees was talking to somebody, and I thought I heard him say Ninkovich. We're going to cut Ninkovich, and then we're going to bring this guy up. And I was like, I didn't know, because when he saw me, he stopped talking, and I was like, did he say my name? And I was like, no, I don't think he said my name. And then I just kept going, thinking, and then. Yeah, I look back after the fact. I'm like, he knew that was happening too. So they knew that they were going to cut me. the day of the game.
What did Greg Williams say to you?
He wasn't there yet.
Oh, okay.
That was 2007.
Oh, I thought you played for him there.
Well, then I came back.
Oh, okay.
And then they did me dirty again. So when I came back, Sean Payton came up to me and said, hey, like, there's no chance you make this team as a defensive football player. Basically, you're not good enough to play defense here. You're going to be a long snapper, and that's it. If you don't want a long snapper, we're going to cut you right now. And I was like, well, I guess I'll long snap if you don't give me a chance to do anything else.
Yeah.
So then I went through the whole offseason, like OTAs, mini camp, reported for training camp, the first day of training camp. Before I could even set foot in the building, they cut me.
Like your car didn't work? Like
no, like I was walking in to report to camp,
Yeah.
and they said, hey, Sean wants to see you. And I went down to sit with Sean, and I'm like, and I was pissed at this point. I was like, I wanted to literally strangle him. I was like, you didn't know that you were going to cut me like 2 weeks ago or a week ago? Because at this point, training camps had just started. People had rosters set. I was like, you screwed me here to go somewhere else at this point because teams are just opening their camps. Their other teams are already in camp. So, I mean, I thought my career was over. That was 2009, and then I got a call from the Patriots.
Yeah.
So when I came here in 2009, I had no pass rush. I had no OTAs. I had no mini camp. I had no offseason as a linebacker or DN. I just was literally a long snapper. I lifted weights like I was as a defensive football player, like I always did because that's all I knew. I didn't do any pass rush. I did no defense. And I came here. It was almost like I really wasn't overthinking anything. So I was just like reacting to what I saw in front of me and making plays. And then like from that day forward, it all worked out. But at one point, I was just a long snapper for the Saints, and they cut me because they said I wasn't good enough.
Did you ever talk to Sean Payton after that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, he offered me a job. He called me the year I retired and was like, hey, you want to come work for us? And I was like, I can't. I really don't want to do that right now. But you know, since then, he always makes an example of we lost we had a player here that we didn't give enough time after an injury and we cut him, and then it came back to bite us because every time people would talk about me, they'd talk about Sean Payton and they cut me. And Sean Payton brings it up often to his staff and people like, hey, it's not just if you're not at a spot that you like and somebody else cuts you and it brings you in, like it's not the end of the road. You got to make the best of it. And they missed out on me. And I've since then I'm cool with it. At the time I hated Sean Payton.
Yeah.
I hated him with a passion.
That.
I hated him like I
like
circled. So in 2009, in the first year that we were here was the year that they went to the Super Bowl and won. We were playing in New Orleans, and you remember the tape of they had like the behind the scenes of 2009 season, and like it was Bill and Tom, and like we just don't have the right guys, yada yada yada. So that in that particular game the week before, I tore in Indianapolis. Merriweather tore my MCL in the knee that I had fixed. I've torn my MCLs like 6 times. So he like tomahawked me, hit me in my knee, tore my MCL. It was probably like a 4-week recovery, and I was like, I don't care what we got to do. I'm playing in that New Orleans game. I don't give a shit. So I missed one game. That was the one game I missed in like 8 years. I missed one game with the MCL, put a brace on it, put as much tape as possible on my knee to try and help. Like, well, you'd make it to where like the tape makes your MCL feel like it's there, but it's really not. I was like, I don't care what you got to do. Tape it. Put a brace on me. I'm playing in this game. And I had like 3 tackles in that game. I didn't play much because it was 2009, but I was like so motivated to just kill somebody. First kickoff, I was like.
And you played them again though after that, right?
Yeah, so I played them. I played them at home. Remember that the comeback?
The Kembrell Thompson.
Yes, in the corner of the end zone. So first play of this game, another funny story everyone can hear about. So in that game, I was ready to go. I was jacked up. So they came out in teacup, which is I'll tell you what a teacup is. It's 2x2 bunch stack. So like the receivers are tight to the line of scrimmage, and usually out of that you'll run a crack toss. So it was 2x2, quarterback under center, tailback in the backfield. Usually from that set, you have tight splits by the receivers. They want to crack the outside guy and then throw the toss. Well, the second they went in teacup, I'm like, all right, crack toss, 100%. So like I didn't even look in the backfield. I just felt the ball being snapped. I just stuck my foot in the ground, turned to Marcus Colston, and put my helmet on his chin. Like I knew he was coming to block me, so I just put my head down, boom, hit him in the head, threw his ass back, ran down the play, made the tackle, and as I make the tackle on the sideline for like a 2-yard loss, Sean Payton is right there, like with his call sheet. I'm right at his feet, and I got up and I looked at him right in the face, and I screamed as loud as I could, "F you," right in his face, right in his face. And all he did was look back down. He looked at me and he went, "Okay, okay." And the next play, the fullback, he must have called, like, cut Ninkovich's knees out. Because the next play, the fullback flashed
I don't
across
care what you
and
do.
tried to blow my knees out. And I was like, okay. Like, don't blow my knee out. But I was still jacked up on that. And we won that game. I was pissed.
Barely.
I know. I would have been really mad if we lost that game, but we won, so I was cool.
Yeah, that was the Ken.
Yeah, that was a good. That was a fun one. But yeah, since when I retired, he texted me. I don't know how he got my number. No, it was through Twitter. He shot me a message. "Hey, this is my number. Give me a ring." And I called him, and he's like, "Hey, we have an opening here. I don't know if you'd be interested in it." And I was like, I just retired. I don't really know what I want to do just yet.
Did you want to say to him, like, "I'm never going to work for you"?
No, because you can never burn those bridges. I think he respects the fact.
You were worried about burning a bridge, but then you got up into his face.
He probably liked that. He probably liked that. You know, there's a difference in the heat of the moment and like that motivation of like, "F you, I'm gonna do whatever it takes here to beat you." They ran a screen in that play. I caught it from like 50 yards downfield. I just was running my ass off. Like, I don't care who gets the ball, I'm running.
Yeah.
And I think Pierre Thomas caught a screen pass to our sideline. But you respect guys that have, and then also too, when you're young, you don't realize the business. Like, I was a little naive to the fact on like the business side of injuries and money, and they're going to pay. Like, when I was signed back with the Saints thinking that I had a chance to play, I should have looked at the contracts in front of me, because they had like 200 million in three DNs. Like, they had Will Smith, they had Charles Grant, and they had Bobby McRae.
Yeah, so
they paid those guys tons of money. So I'm like, these guys aren't coming off the field. They're not going to let me get a chance. I was hoping to be the fourth guy and run down on special teams and maybe like get a chance if somebody goes down. And they didn't want to bring me back and let me do, like, if you bring somebody back that you've cut and he goes out there and balls out, then it makes you look poorly on your decision to cut him in the first place.
Yeah, I can see
that. So there's a lot of things that go into when guys play, when guys don't play, contracts. If we go out, if we let this guy play, like, there are certain times I'd come off the field on third down when I'm like, "Hey, I'm the best pass rusher here for you." Like, why is that? And maybe if you get 10 to 12 sacks this year, it'll cost us more than if you just get 8. But you never know. But there's a business side to everything here.
He sold out for years and years and years to the cap.
I don't know. Look at my SPO track. I don't know if he sold out on me. Maybe it was somebody else. But I'm not complaining.
Yeah, it all worked out. Right?
It all works out. And at the end of the day, I was able to have a career, win Super Bowls. So anytime that I say stuff like that, I am grateful for the opportunities that I had here, because I didn't have them anywhere else, and I wouldn't have had them if it wasn't for Bill and giving me a chance. So that's the first thing I always say to Bill. I'm like, "Hey, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, which nobody else was going to give me that. And it was up to me to make the best of it." Yeah, like, you go out there, it's up to the player to make the most of his opportunities. If you give a guy a chance and he doesn't do anything with it, well, then that's on him. So, for Bill to have confidence in me, then slowly give me a little bit more and more and more, and I just kept doing, more with those roles, then it's up to the player. And he'll say it all the time. Bill will always say, like, it's up to the player to make the most of their opportunity. If they don't make the most of it, then it's on you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give you a chance.
Gives you the opportunity.
I'm just going to give you the chance. If you can't do anything with it, then you look at yourself in the mirror and you have to realize there's no excuses. I think that's one of the things that bothers me. If I was a high school coach or a coach and like a parent or somebody was like, "How come Tim's not starting over Mike?" And I'd say, "All right, well, listen up here. We're going to do something called Oklahoma drill. I'm going to have both your sons line up 5 yards apart. And I do believe your son's going to get his ass kicked. And if he does, I want you to accept it, or else I'm going to take you see your dad over there? I'm going to beat up your dad or your husband." And then I'm kidding. I would be fired instantly. Maybe that's why I'm not a high school coach.
Yeah.
But I'd line them up. I'd go head to head, and we'll see. And it's not, head trauma's bad. I'm saying just line them up. Running back, DB, blocking, whatever it is. One-on-one, DB, corner. Do a multiple amount of things. Let the parents see. Like, look, your son's not very good. He runs a 5 flat. Like, let's not be fake here. Let's be real.
Coach Ninkovich.
Your son is not going to have a scholarship.
Yeah.
That's the one thing, too. Like, you think he's got a chance? Nope. No chance. Go to school. Get your education. He's not an athlete.
Yeah.
All right.
Mom,
so that's our tangent.
Mom, Coach Ninkovich was mean to me today.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Hey, Mom, sorry. Your son's terrible.
Your son sucks.
Yeah.
All right, back to the NFL.
Picks.
You want to do a picks, or you want to talk about who's the best team in the NFL?
The best team in the NFL right now is Kansas City. Not the Steelers. They failed my test. They failed the Steelers, wounded animal in the Cowboys, laying there waiting to get their asses kicked. You give them hope. You let them score. Your defense is supposed to be great. You didn't finish that game. And I know you're going to say Kansas City. Well, they were, they were battling.
I agree with you. Kansas City's the best team in the NFL.
They were battling with Carolina. Well, Carolina is better than the Cowboys on their third quarterback with no healthy options and the offensive line. And
the guy was like flipping burgers at Whataburger or something like that before the game. I mean, the problem is you just don't know who it is. It's every week. It's somebody. It's a new team. It seems like there isn't a clear cut favorite.
You just have to. For me, it's a quarterback driven league, so I'm going with the best mobile, arm strength, vision, youth quarterback in the league, and that's Pat Mahomes. Because nobody's talking about Pat Mahomes, but right now he is having a heck of a season, MVP type season, and nobody is talking about Pat Mahomes because you're just used to it. It's like the Patriots. They're like, oh, the Patriots are going to win. They're going to be there every year. It's like. Yeah, well, then they're under the radar. They're flying under the radar. The Kansas City Chiefs, Pat Mahomes is under the radar right now. He's like,
yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I agree with that statement 100%. But it's just tough. I just don't think there's a clear cut favorite because the Chiefs aren't what they were last year. They're not the same.
No,
team.
No, they're not.
They're not as
they
dominant.
Still are explosive.
Yeah, I guess you just got to keep waiting it out. You can't. It's just not enough season yet without having the preseason, without having real OTAs, without having real everything. I think it's just going to be towards the end of the season of what we're going to figure out. You want to go into picks now?
Let's do it.
All right.
And then we're going to go karting. And I'm going to take your ass out. All right.
I still have a feeling like you've went to this place like 20 times.
Nope, I'm not a member.
I'm going to go there and it's going to be
I don't have my membership card.
We got the Ninkovich set up. The Ninkovich track set up this week.
The Ninkos for you.
Yeah. It's like
nope, I'm not a full-time member and I don't have a karting license.
Yeah, because if you know anything about karting, it's all about the lines. You have to know the
all
lines, you know
apex.
where you're at. It's just all about momentum. And if Ninkovich gets ahead of me and when he goes in the apex, I'm going to hit the rear end of his cart and spin him out.
All right, let's go into picks. Hold on.
I'm going to pull up week 10.
I don't have COVID. I just have like a lot of talking.
All right. So we got a Thursday night game.
Hold on. Ready?
Oh, boy. Good?
I just need like water, but I'm okay. Okay, here we go. Ready?
All right. Thursday night game, Colts-Titans.
Titans.
I will go Titans, too. Texans-Browns.
Texans.
I'm going to go Browns.
Poop.
Football team, Lions.
Lions.
Jaguars, Packers. Eagles, Giants.
Giants.
I'm going to go Eagles on this one. Buccaneers, Panthers. Do we have to
Buccaneers.
Yeah, who you're going to say.
Going to bounce back.
He's had 2 bad games. They won the one against the Giants, but I think he's going to go well. Buccaneers. Broncos, Raiders. It's going to be a good game.
Raiders.
I'll go Raiders. Chargers, Dolphins.
Chargers. Nope. Dolphins.
I'm going to go Chargers.
I'm going Dolphins. I changed my mind. Tua look better.
Bills, Cardinals.
Cardinals.
I'm going to go Cardinals, too. Seahawks, Rams. That's a good game.
Seahawks.
49ers, Saints. Bengals, Steelers.
Rudolph is your quarterback. If Big Ben's not there,
It says on here that Ben is supposed to clear COVID protocols.
I'm going Bengals. I'm going Bengals.
I'm going to go Bengals too. I think that was my big upset this week was going to be the Bengals. The Bengals actually look good. Burrow looks like a good quarterback. I mean, he looks pretty good.
You wish you had him here.
Yeah, of course. Vikings, Bears. That's a tough one.
Stink, man. Their offense is so bad. I got to go with the Bears because I'm a Chi-Town kid, and Yeah, if I don't, I just feel like the Vikings, if you stop the run, which I feel like the Bears can do that.
Yeah.
So I'm going Bears.
Yeah, I'm going to go Bears, too.
The Bears.
Ravens, Patriots. Sunday night game. Ravens, Patriots.
Everybody, please. I mean, don't crucify me on this one. I got to go with the Ravens because the Patriots can't stop the run, and I just don't know how they're going to beat a team that is the Ravens, like the way they're built. So I'm going Ravens. Don't not like me anymore.
All right, I think your Instagram followers just went down like 10,000. I'm going to go the Patriots. I just got to take them, but I actually think they have a shot at this game. Bill does a great job taking away, your best weapon. The Ravens aren't what they were last year. Lamar's not that, been that great compared to last year. Patriots have to win it. They have to win one of these hard games. They have to win a game. They have to win 2 of these 3 games. They have to win Baltimore, Arizona, and the Rams. They have to win 2 of those 3 games.
Yes.
So I might as well just get it out of the way.
Okay.
Get that win.
I mean, you hope that maybe the momentum of this game
I think it will.
builds confidence.
With Cam, it's just confidence. It's confidence. You can see it in his throws.
But what about the defensive side of things? That's the thing I'm a little bit worried about.
That is the tough thing. We are doing this on Tuesday, so we don't really know the injury reports or anything.
Yes.
So, I'm making my picks. I'm figuring Lawrence Guy's playing. I'm figuring Gilmore's playing. I'm figuring Bentley's playing.
Yeah.
I'm figuring they're getting everybody out there. I think that they maybe thought that they were going to try to have the guys rest a little bit more this week against the Jets because it was an easier game than against the Ravens. But what if they beat the Ravens? What do you think then? What will you think?
If they beat the Ravens, then I'll be a little bit more positive in my general overall thought of possibly them being able to get back into the hunt of this thing for the playoffs and make a push if they can beat the Ravens. Because looking at the hole that they're in now with only 3 wins, they can't lose many more games because if you do that, then you're out of it completely.
Your best case scenario is you lose 2 games.
Yes, that's it.
Because it's
that is
9-7,
That's
and that's not even a guarantee to make it. That's why I'm saying they have to.
They have to win these games. If you lose one of these games, like last night, if they would have lost, it would have been over. If they lose this game coming up, it's not necessarily over, but it makes it that much harder that they have to literally win almost every game.
If they lose this game, they have to win out.
I win out.
I mean, I'd rather have at least
it's really hard to do.
The 1 game room. I think it's also a big confidence thing. If they beat the Ravens, I think they could win out at that point. Because if they beat the Ravens,
get to 500, if they get to 5-5 with 6 to go, like they'd be good.
Well, that's the thing, but that's why I think they have to beat the Ravens because they play Houston after that. It's a winnable game that puts them at 5-5. Arizona is a tough game. I think they can beat Arizona. But Kyler Murray, I mean, he's just the wild card, right? Like he could just go off, and then you have
fast too.
That they can beat the Chargers, they can beat the Rams, they've already beat the Dolphins, they should have beat Buffalo, or at least it was a close game anyway, and then they should beat the Jets at the end.
Yes.
So
there's hope, people, but I just think it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough game.
Cam's going to be confident now, though.
Let's see what Zoe just texted me. Let's see what Zoe's got.
Is he saying that? What was the big thing? He didn't have the box hat on too? Like I text you? No box equals win.
You want to come on.
What?
He wants me to come on.
Oh, you're on his show?
Yeah.
That should be fun. You talk about...
just finishing the pod.
Yeah. Then you got a race.
Then we got a race. Yeah, I don't know if I can get on.
Put in a wall.
Yeah. That's fine. All right, let's do this. So we're going to go down the street. We're going to do a little racing. And loser, I don't know. We got to put something on this. Got to shave their beard off.
I can't do that. Can you do that?
I could.
When was the last time you didn't have a beard, though? How many years has it been?
I was shaving my beard, and my 6-year-old little girl was looking at me as I was cutting it off, and she was going, oh. And then I forget that I have a lovely double chin that I can cover up with this beard. So I haven't shaved it in a long time.
I think my wife would be mad, but my wife gets mad if I just trim my beard. If I cut an inch off of it.
That's a long one right there. You can hide things in there.
My chin's right here.
It's very circular. That's the one thing too. When you cut this off, you realize how round your face is. And I have a big cheeks, like round head. So I'm a circle face for sure. So
no, I can't do that. I don't know what we'd put on it.
All right, well, let's go do this. Thanks for joining. You could do the finisher because you're good at the. That sounded bad.
The finisher.
The finisher. No, you could do the. You're really good at saying it quick.
All right, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're kind of on everywhere. Follow us on everything and look for the updates and all that stuff. And hopefully we put a little bit more content out there now.
Peace.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Good afternoon. I'm David Still here at Supercharged Entertainment. I'm an operations manager here, and we feature the world's largest multi-level go-karting facility. If you guys want to take a look with me, I'll turn this way. Today we're doing Super Track. It's going to be half a mile long on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's 2 separate tracks, each a quarter mile long, testing strength and skill for each driver. Behind you, we're going to go this way. We have our state-of-the-art gaming lounge, and upstairs we have our one and only Ninja Wipeout course, featuring 28 different obstacles for individuals to test their mettle at. Well, let's not waste any time. Gentlemen, I need you guys to start your engines for me. Now we're off.
At Supercharged Entertainment. It's right off Route 1, right across the street from Luciano's in Rentham.
Ninko's home track?
No, it's not Ninko's home track, but we wanted to settle a little score here. You know, we know Dan is a car dealership owner, owns many awesome cars.
Yeah.
He seems to keep it awesome all the time. And we wanted to come out here, see who was the better, had the better skills on the track. I think I won this. We haven't seen the track times yet.
No.
I mean, I know we were neck and neck for a little bit. I hit you a little bit, just a little bit. I'm a football player.
Yeah.
You got to be a little bit physical.
Yeah, Joe Flacco got hit a little bit by Kiko Alonso.
Supercharged Entertainment. This place is really cool. It's electric, so you don't have to deal with the fumes and gas and all that nastiness that you have to deal with if you're inside a gas environment where there's fumes. So, this place is really cool. It's got a big, open area for parties. Anything you want to do. It's cool. It's got a bar. You like beer.
Bar,
so arcades for
everything.
the kids. So it's a really cool spot. And like I said, it's in Rentham, right off Route 1. Really awesome place. Really thankful that they were able to let us come here and see who is the better race car driver. I think I won. Let's go check out the lap times.
Let's go check it out.